One of the pinnacles of the service that took place in the temple on Yom haKippurim was a lottery of sorts. There were two goats that were as close to identical as possible. The Kohen Gadol, the high priest, would select one of them at random to be offered on the altar, and one of them to be taken out to Azazel. Now, what is Azazel? Azazel was a rocky area on the outskirts of society. It would be taken into the wilderness. It would be quite some distance. It would be taken to a cliff and it would be pushed off. It doesn't sound too pleasant, but it's what it is. Now, it's said that because this was such a long distance, it was an individual who had to take the goat out there. What is this person supposed to do? Long trip, on Kippur nonetheless. End of the summer in the northern hemisphere, it could be still quite warm, possibly quite dry. Rainy season hasn't really started up yet. Easy to get dehydrated, easy to get tired, easy to get faint. So what happened? There were stations that were set up with food and water ready. In case the person started feeling faint, he could stop. And the individuals at each of these stations would say, come, have something to eat, have something to drink. Kind of an odd thing if you consider that Yom haKippurim is a day of fasting. How is he going to stop on Kippur fasting? According to Halakha, he had permission to stop and to eat if he felt he needed to. Tradition, however, is that in all of the years that this was done, no person who was taking the goat out ever actually needed to stop. Okay. What's the lesson? The lesson to some degree is that if you think you can, if you know you have something upon which you can rely, it becomes easier. If you think, I've got to walk all this distance and it's a fast day, I've got nothing, I'm by myself, it's hot, it's dry, I'm exhausted, makes it very difficult. You're much more likely to feel faint. But if you know, hey, it's there, I've got it if I need it, you find yourself not really needing it. Interesting bit of human psychology there. You don't need to stop at this one because there'll be another one, I can make it, I'm good to go to the next one. To some degree, that's an important lesson in itself. I remember hearing a number of years ago about an individual who was a recovering alcoholic. And he'd kept a diary. And the first day after he started his new life, he wrote in the diary, today I have been alcohol-free for 1 day. And then the next day, he wrote in his diary, today I have been alcohol-free for 1 day. And then the next day, he wrote in his diary, today I have been alcohol-free for 1 day. Because if you think, for the rest of your life, I'm never going to touch the bottle again, how much longer are you going to live? 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 80 years? I don't know how old this fellow was when he started. I don't know how long it was until he died. But if you think about that, how am I going to manage 80 years? Or even 30 years? How am I going to manage 10 years without drinking? It's difficult. It's very difficult. But if you just say to yourself, forget the 10 years. I'm taking a commitment that today I am not going to have a drink. And then tomorrow, forget about the 10 years. I'm making a commitment that just today I'm not going to drink. But it's 1 day, you can do it. Some people have the willpower to say, I'm not going to drink ever again, and it could be 30 years and no problem. But it doesn't work for everyone. It's much easier if you just say to yourself, 1 day at a time. 1 step at a time. If you know the support system is there, it's easier. And I suppose that's it. And it wasn't just that they set up stations where there was food. There were people there who were greeting him and telling him, come eat, come drink. He had the encouragement of the individuals. He had the support, knowing that if he needed it, it would be there and there would be people there to help him. The food by itself, maybe not. But the people made it possible. So the lessons for Kippur, I think, are take it 1 day at a time, on a day in which we pledge to become better people, to become different people than we were in the past. It's hard. How do you go from being the sort of person that I am to being a complete saint overnight? The answer is you don't. You take a step at a time. 1 small, slow step at a time. And if you can come out of Kippur being slightly better than you were yesterday, that's a victory. That's something. It especially helps if there are other people there to help you. And by that token, try, insofar as you're able, to be there for others and to help them. I wish all of you the best. Gemar Chatima Tova. Happy Jew Year, as we say. Chag Sameach, such as it were. I hope you found some meaning from everything I've had to say over the year, and if you feel that I've wasted your time, I apologize for that, and I beg you to forgive me for it. All the best.